Button shuts down everything.
It's the power button over there. All right. Hello and welcome to a Topic a Month podcast where we cover one topic a month split into weekly segments. This month's topic, and when this airs, it'll be just after Thanksgiving, so I hope that food baby is sitting healthy in your stomach, ready to be poop, is revisiting, and this week's topic is vehicles, cars, automotive. Whichever way you want to say it, you'll love it and hate it. But before we begin, we've got ourselves a sponsor. I don't know if anybody knows this. Doug's Balloons on East Superior Street. Doug's Balloon Blowing Service will blow you while you wait. Thanks, Doug's Balloons, for your patronage. I'm glad I took my time at your establishment.
Is that legit?
No.
I was going to say.
No, it's just a bad throwaway joke. Oh, son of a bitch. All right. With us tonight is our lovely, lusty, long
I want to get blown while I wait. That would be awesome.
I can put you on pause and you can wait for a little while. It's going to take me about 2.5 hours to run down there real quick. But
You're not sitting in a room with two other dudes.
I was going to say, I can do some of this myself. I've been working out, so I'm getting flexible, so I might be okay.
I'm stiff as a fucking board, and that's not just my my body. With us tonight is our lovely, lusty, long-lasting, level-headed, luminous luminary Donnie. And next in the lineup is our thrice tastefully titillating, tenacious, tenfold, testically triumphant Tyler. And of course, no good introduction would be complete with our certified calamitous, candid, charismatic, car enthusiastic, contemplating, continuing cavernous Cuban cigars while creating a curvy, cute, creamy, continental crush on his own podcast, Car-tastrophe Joe.
Jesus.
Hey! I love your intros, dude. I'm like trying to do my best to come up with one for you if I ever get you on my show, and I'm failing so bad at it. It's like I don't even want to break it out right now. It's shameful compared to yours. That's magnificent, sir.
Man, they're so fucking hard. They're really hard to do. Like, I tried to throw in a bunch of other words, like colloquial. I couldn't say it quickly enough, so it's just it was horrible.
Yeah,
it's just horrible.
You have to just kind of skate over that one. That one. It's better if you like stutter and have a Tourette's fit instead of saying
So just talk normal.
Yeah, just talk normal. Do my normal, and then just stroke out as is usual.
Yeah. I want to tell you, just as long as we're on the sidebar about us, men trying to blow themselves. I just recently started doing this new fitness regimen with a buddy of mine. So she has this product. Have you guys heard of Beachbody? You know what that is? Beachbody on demand.
My wife does that.
Yeah, like the P90X and all that stuff.
Yep.
It's got everything, but it's like the Netflix of working out. But when I got sold this thing, I'm so naive and stupid that this friend of mine, she said, "Hey, do you want to do a free trial of this Beachbody on demand?" And I said, "Oh man, we can demand when we have our Beachbody?" And she said, "Oh yeah, it's whenever you want." I said, I want it right now, so that will be fine.
Fucking hook me up, prime that shit to me right now.
Yeah, and so I logged in, and that was it. And then I went and stood in front of the mirror naked and sobbed for about a half an hour.
It's a different kind of beach.
It didn't turn out that when I demanded it, that's not what that actually means. It means you get the workouts on demand, I guess. They should change their name.
Yeah. That's a bunch of false advertisements.
So whose wife was this? This was Donnie or Tyler's wife?
My wife, Donnie. She does the
Donnie. How did she like it?
Okay, I guess she does it.
I'm doing this one called Insanity Max 30, and I swear to God, I want to puke afterwards. It's really, really, you should do it.
I've actually done one of the Insanity workouts, and it lives up to its name. The best one.
Yeah, it was insane.
If you're gonna do one, do the yoga, because the last 2 minutes of it is just laying on your back on the floor, and it's fantastic.
I did one of those. The first day I did one, I felt so like I was gonna die that I had to shave my head. So I shaved my head. I could grow hair if I wanted to, but I don't want to. I shave it. And my arms were so jello-y that I had to lay the razor on the sink and like wipe my head across. It was so bad. So that's my super quick sidebar. But I think I'm getting flexible enough to do some serious damage, and then you guys will never see me again. If I can crack that Da Vinci Code and blow myself, you guys are never going to hear from me ever.
Just be sitting in a dark room, getting paler and paler and paler.
Kind of like doing a
I'm going to
podcast.
knock all my teeth out like Tom Cruise. I need Tom Hanks. I'm going to get an ice skate, just knock all my teeth out. Those things aren't serving any purpose anymore.
Joe's neck's going to be about the size of Brock Lesnar's.
Oh yeah. Could you imagine how vascular my Adam's apple is going to get?
Just this thick fucking neck. No leg muscle, no arm muscle. Just his core is solid and his neck is thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, upper day, not even one. Neck every day. You know how we do.
Yeah. Joe just skips body day and just goes right to neck day.
Yeah.
Neck day every day.
That's all it's for.
So, Christ. So I think we covered a little bit on the first. Man, that was like the first fucking month of cars that we have had. That was 7 months ago.
Was it?
Yeah, that was a long damn time
That's
ago.
the first topic that I wrote about. So as I listen to yours, I'm filled with such hubris that I assume I'm so famous that Aiden's gonna probably need me on his show. So I started making up material. I started writing what do I feel about this or that topic, and I that was the first one I wrote was the driver's car. So I think that must have been one of your first ones you ever did.
Yeah, the driver's cars was probably one of the first mini casts that I actually put on there.
Hey,
yeah,
by the way,
yeah.
My wife is super pissed off that I didn't bring her down here on the last episode, the video games episode.
What?
You know, so I went upstairs after I got off the phone with you guys. I went upstairs and she's still watching Vampire Academy, I guess it was. And she's like, how's it going down there and everything? I'm like, that's fine. So what did you guys talk about? I said, well, today was video games. And she said, oh, well, God damn it. Why didn't you come get me and have me be on the show? And I said, I don't know. You don't seem to ever want to be on my show. She said, yeah, it's real. This is like a real podcast. I was like, oh, you bitch.
Oh, I don't know if I'd go so far as a real podcast. It's like we spray painted a sign.
But I think she doesn't want to accidentally give me too much emotional support. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She would be remiss if she accidentally, called my show legitimate. So
still, she's got to poke you a little bit to keep getting better and better and better. And here she's telling us our amateur hour of podcasts. Says, yeah, that's grade A over there.
Well, the only thing you're missing is the black leather couch.
Yeah, she's like the boxing trainer that gives you the stick instead of the carrot, I guess. You know what I mean?
So what do we got for cars? Let's go a little bit of a background for you, Joe. What did you start out with? I think I know, but I don't think any of our listeners actually know. I don't think Tyler
so you want me to give like my snapshot, like what's my deal with cars in general? Probably.
Yeah. Let's go into a little bit of a background.
I started working on cars, but not because my dad didn't work on cars. I didn't have like this passion for it. I didn't wrench on it with my uncle or anything like that. I was like 19 or 18 and I was completely aimless. I had no career prospect of any kind in mind at all. And then as soon as I hit the real world, I had a choice to make. I'm covered in tattoos. Okay. And so I went to this tattoo parlor and they brought me in back and like sat me down. They're like, hey man, we want you to get tattooed. We'll tattoo you for free and we'll pay you to go walk around like concerts and throw our flyers around and stuff. And when you're 18, that sounds like a pretty cool gig, right?
I'd say so. I would have done that when I was 18.
Yeah, but then like I just imagine what's the end game? I can be like 40 and covered in tattoos and like wandering around the Green Day concert and stuff. And I mean, now it gets sad, right? The older you get, the more sad it gets.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
I decided to try something else out instead. And my best friend's dad happened to work on cars. And so I said, well, I guess I'll do that then. That's what a real dad does. So I should follow in someone's footsteps. It might as well be his. And, I went to school and got a job at a shop. And I worked at an aftermarket shop for about 5 years, just wrenching on everything. God, I got some crazy stories about the guys. The illegal aliens that I worked with, they were like some of the craziest characters. A lot of the stories sound like bullshit. They're not, but
I love the sandwich one, by the way. That was a really good one.
What was that?
Your sandwich one where they went to what, like Jimmy John's or something, and it was old mayo on there for like a week.
So one of the ones that they think I'm using some hyperbole on is the owner of the shop went to Quiznos, or rather, he came into the shop and said, "Hey, I got you guys some Quiznos," and we should have known damn well better than to take anything from this guy because he was so notoriously cheap. But we were like, "Yeah, fine. Like, what do you got?" And he's like, "I got this one's Philly cheesesteak. This one's, barbecue chicken ranch, and this one is like deluxe seafood and tuna." And so I know, I'm telling you. And so me and a couple of other guys, we start snacking down on these sandwiches, and we're like, "Hey man, I thought Quiznos like toasted your sandwiches. Why are these so like chewy and soggy? What's going on?" We're stupid men, so we just keep eating it because
free food.
I don't regret it. I would do it again. But shortly thereafter, we all started getting really, really sick, and you can just hear the stomach grumbling, like the percolating lower GI tract of all the guys. And Alberto runs across the street to Midas. Fulgencio runs into our bathroom, and then, another guy runs next door. And that leaves me and Carlos, and we're having an ironically Mexican standoff with our GI tract. Into our shorts in front of the other one. And Carlos says, "Joe, man, I can't wait. Don't come down here." And he goes into like the oil drain bay, which, so they have these big holes in the ground where a tech is under there, and a car drives over it to drain the oil, right? You've seen these things?
Yeah.
So down there's a drain in the floor. It's like an oil water separator that's supposed to catch, well, God forbid it catches what Carlos is throwing at it before it gets to the, sewage system. And so he takes a dump down that drain hole, and he's just hearing his diarrhea slap against the concrete. I'll never forget it. It was like it was like a gallon of strawberries and lemonade just being dumped into a floor drain. It was disgusting. Yeah, exactly. And I feel bad for the guy that had to come take care of that because the oil and water separator has to be cleaned out by like the EPA or whatever. They come by and they suck it out. And that poor son of a bitch that had to get in there, they get into it to clean these things out.
My God.
It's kind of like, dude, I know. And it's got a gallon of Carlos's feces in there. And I think he was probably the one that got the seafood one too. But anyway, so it turns out these sandwiches had been sitting on my boss's dashboard. He wouldn't admit to how long, but at least a day, maybe a weekend. We don't know.
That's fucking terrifyingly disgusting.
Yeah, that was bad. So I worked with those
mayo.
I worked with them for 5 years. I definitely saw how bad the industry can be with them. Like, for example, if you have a car that has low oil pressure, burns oil, and then has a blown head gasket and overheats, what they would do is that, they drain the engine oil out and they put 80-90 engine oil and 80-90 gear lube in it. Now it doesn't burn oil and it's got oil pressure, right? And they take the thermostat out and they power and ground the fans all the time. Now it doesn't overheat, right? So
oh my God,
no more blown head gasket with this Accord. I'm telling you, it's so janky.
Is that a place that we can't speak of on the podcast?
They do listen. They listen to my show, so they're probably listen. They're probably going to listen to this if they hear that I'm on it. So I probably better not. They know who they are, though. When I show, it's like, come on, man. I'm like, hey, did you not shit into the floor drain? He goes, okay, yeah, but still. I'm like, I didn't tell anybody. Look, a Mexican dude named Carlos, go throw a stick in South Minneapolis and find one, okay?
Like picking a white guy named John. Like, fucking, come on. Like, there's tons of Johns out there. Give me a break.
Oh, we've got at least 7 of them that come in just into our store.
Yeah.
This guy, as long as I'm sitting on Carlos for a minute, he has these crazy stories where I don't know if he's full of shit or not, but he backs them up. So like one day we're closing down the shop and he's kind of looking around. He's like, oh man, this feels like a good day to get drunk and fight a white boy. I was like, that sounds terrifying, but whatever. And he'll show up the next day and his face is all jacked up. He's like, yeah, man, I went and fought a white boy. It was awesome. I kicked his ass. Like, he just found a white person to fight, I guess.
What the fuck?
That was actually from his wife and or girlfriend.
Just get the shit kicked out of him.
That's probably the same thing.
you're probably very close to the mark. She looks like oh my God, she looks like a cross between the maid from Family Guy and Mimi from the Drew Carey Show. That's what this chick looks like.
So a Mexican Jim Carrey, or not Jim Carrey, Drew Carey.
Yeah, Mexican Drew Carey.
Yeah, exactly. So she's like 4 bills, and she's just got a pound of makeup on her face. Yeah, she's very, very scary, this lady. But then one time he calls me up. God damn, this is probably, I don't know if the statute of limitations is up on this or not, but one day he calls me up and says, "Hey, Joe, you got to open the store, man. I'm not going to be there for a couple days." And I'm like, "Well, what the hell? Like, why not?" He was the manager of the shop. I'm like, "Well, what the hell? Where are you?" He's like, "Yeah, man, they got me. They're bringing me back to Mexico. They deport me again." I was like, "Okay, I'm sure not true." So, but he's probably hungover or drunk. Sounds like still.
Yeah.
So I go into the shop and I open up, and sure as hell, he's not there. And he's not there for 3 more days. And his car is still in the parking lot. I don't know where this guy is. But he shows up after like 4 or 5 days, and he's got a bunch of legit Mexican swag, like weird little boxes full of jumping beans and like weird liquor and stuff. Like he's got a whole bunch of weird shit. And it's real apparent that he was in Mexico, like just prior, the day before or something. And I was like, "Carlos, goddamn, like you legitimately got deported?" And he says, "Yeah, man, they got me. This number 6 for me. They got me 6 times."
Holy fuck.
I'm telling you, it's like a badge of honor for these people. Like they get deported and they bounce right back. It's like, "It's a vacation for me. I go down there, I get drunk, I fuck a couple hookers, I come back." He doesn't give like one fuck. It's incredible. So I worked with them. I worked with them for 5 years. And then, ironically, I'm not gonna tell you guys the name of my day job, but I work right now. I'm in an automotive hotline. I take phone calls from mechanics, and at this job with the Mexicans, I called my job now, and I was trying to get help diagnosing a Nissan Quest. Spoiler alert: it was a bad distributor, but I was trying to get help, and they were directing me to check this and that and this and that, and it was equipment, like diagnostic equipment that we didn't have. And so I would say, "Okay, well, I'll try," and I hang up the phone and I go talk to the boss. I'm like, "Hey, man, they want me to lab scope the ignition trigger on the distributor. So do we have a lab scope?" And we don't have a lab scope. So he would say, "Just go call them back and tell them that it looks good and what's next." I'm like, "Hey, man."
Oh, my God. Yeah, it looks fine.
So you wasted
Nothing's
an
on
entire
fire.
afternoon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, "Hey, man," I was like, that's not going to get us any closer to fixing this car. We need to get rid of it, or we're just shooting into the dark. We don't know. And so after dealing with that for a week and my production was in the toilet, I just said, "Dude, I can't deal with this anymore. Like, you guys, I need to be on the cutting edge. I'm going to go work for a dealer." And I made a deal with myself that I was going to work with either Honda or Toyota or Subaru. These are kind of the car brands that I felt like I could stand behind. Like, I didn't want to go work for Kia unless one of you guys drives a Kia. They're awesome.
I actually worked at Kia for 3 years.
How did you like it?
Oh, it's a shit show. Shit company,
That's my
shit
point.
product.
If you want to test drive somebody's Optima and they're complaining about this or that issue on it, you don't want to be like, "Oh yeah, these are really big bags of shit. Don't buy one." Because I wouldn't be able to talk. I wouldn't be able to genuinely stand behind the product if I didn't believe in it, and I didn't want to compromise myself that way. So I said, Honda, Toyota, Subaru, or Acura, Lexus. You know what I mean? Something like that. Scion. Some permutation of these companies. So I ended up working for a Honda dealer, and I worked for them for 5 years. And I'm sure it's the same as, I think it was Tyler. Tyler worked at Kia, correct?
Donnie.
No, Donnie did.
Donnie did.
Yeah,
God,
Tyler has standards.
Yeah.
Tyler would never, huh?
Yeah.
So, but then Donnie, you know how the dealer jobs go. If you have a brain on you at all, you get taken advantage of.
Oh yeah.
And you get the diagnostic work. And if you're an idiot and all you can do is slap parts, then you get the gravy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Because
You
I got screwed.
And
And there's
you have a couple of brain cells on your noggin.
Yeah, there's a tech that was there who was our master tech, and he should have been doing the big diagnostic and replacing the engines and the transmissions and that kind of shit. And I was there for maybe 3 or 4 months, and my service advisor was like, "Oh, you seem like you know what you're doing," and he threw me a Kia Sedona that went 30,000 miles without an oil change through a rod. We covered it under warranty, so I got screwed on the job from the get-go. And it was like a 22-hour job to replace the small block on it.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And
Oh my god.
it's like, so I get...
Hey, that's daily at the dealer. The dealer,
that's
sucks,
a typical
dude.
day.
I feel for you for sure.
Well, I did knock it out in 16 hours, so I was happy about that. But it's still just a shit show.
Yeah.
You get screwed over.
It's terrible. So, I mean, if you can make money on a short block warranty, then hats off. But yeah, it's rough. My first job at the dealer was rebuilding a Civic Si tranny. Just here you go. I'm not even. The paperwork's not even dry. I don't even know if I'm a lube tech. I don't even know if I'm a journeyman. I don't know anything about what you guys got going on. It's just it was a shit show, like you say.
Yeah.
But I mean, I got taken advantage of. I feel like my body got broken down and my spirit got broken down. I was running the night shift by the time I left.
Yeah, the hours suck ass.
Oh yeah. Oh, I worked the weekends and I worked till 9 o'clock every night. I would get home at like 9:45, and my wife, she goes to bed at 7:30. So there's no. I have to take yoga classes basically to take care of my problem. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why you signed up for Beachbody, right?
Yeah.
So then I got approached by a guy. He was walking through the shop and he was wearing like a mechanic's outfit. And it was pretty common that they would come in from, other shops. They would come looking for help. Did you get that at the Kia dealer where another guy would come in and be like, "Oh man, I got this Rio that won't start. What do you think? Do you ever get that?"
Yeah, usually it's some old fucker though that thinks it's still carbureted. He can just hit it with a hammer and it'll run properly.
Yeah,
it was never an owner of another shop or anything like that.
I suppose not a whole hell of a lot of diagnosis that really needs to go into it. And we'll just throw a new carb on it, be good to go. Like, no, not really anymore.
Yeah. I think it needs a fuel pump. They always say it needs a fuel pump. I've been put a fuel pump on a Honda in my life.
Yeah.
But this guy shows up and it turns out it's my he's from Texas, so he talks real funny. He shows me, "Hey man, what you trying to do?" I said, "You work for Tech Hotline and you want to hire someone?" "Well, man, shit, man, what, man, Yeah, I'm the diagnostician around here, so I guess that would be me. Let me get your card. "Man, shit, man, get on, man."
So you sound like
Yeah, thanks, I
Boomhauer.
will call you back. It sounds like Boomhauer kind of. So anyway, then I've been doing that for 4 years now. Oh my God, 4 years. Jesus Christ.
Come on, you old man.
God damn, no kidding. So, and then about, I guess, a year and a half ago, I started doing a podcast about it because I'm so inundated with, God damn. I mean, I'm inundated with how cars fail, and I'm inundated with how people fail cars too. And I needed an outlet for this, or I was going to open up my wrists or something.
That's got to be a good way to do it too, is just complain. So I think the last minicast that I did was just complaining.
Bitching.
It was. I think it was just 10 solid minutes of just bitching about stupid ass people, but
I think you could almost do that every day though.
Yeah.
I got a couple of real good fresh examples from today that could probably take up my one of my shows, but I'll give it to you guys if you want.
Yeah. Bring it on. Before we go into that, what did you start out with cars? Like, what was your first car that you've had?
My first car was probably the second best car on the planet, and it was a '97 Acura Integra.
Oh, yeah, that's a good car. That's a great car to have.
That was a badass car. It's got the V18. It was automatic, but I mean, what are you gonna do? It was a forest green and had the buttercream interior. It was not the GSR. It was non-VTEC, but it was the GS right below it, and it had the GSR.
A buddy of mine had one of those growing up as well.
Oh, you Honda kids,
dude! Those little things would rip though. For what they were quick little cars.
I've never ridden in one, so I just don't know.
It's like a front wheel drive version of the Miata. That same.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just with a little bit more power.
Little.
with power.
With power. Not entire red line.
Yeah, you could.
But yeah, that car murdered, dude. It was it was still driving up until like a year ago. I gave it to my mom, and she gave it to my sister, and it was just a rusty piece of shit. But it would not stop running. It would not stop. It's been wrecked. Like was salvaged when I bought it. And then I got T-boned again by an illegal alien that ran off. So he T-boned me, and then he like pops his head like, "Hey man, you okay?" I'm like, yeah, you got insurance, and he just peels out. I'm like, God damn it, like that makes
Son
sense.
of a bitch.
So I know. And then I rear-ended somebody when I was arguing with my girlfriend at the time. So that car's been hit and put back together so many times, and it just never had a problem, man. It just no check engine light, no. Not even an O2 sensor went in that thing, man. Just brakes and the timing belt, and that's it. Tires, oil changes, kicked ass.
Yeah, they are super reliable. I give Hondas that, but I don't know, man. After like, I think the scene really kind of ruined them for me. I think that's really what it was. Like, I know they're good cars. I've never really been in one, but I know the scene kind of like fucked Honda and Acura. And
I still want an EG hatch, which is like a 94, 95 Civic hatch.
yeah, no,
That's
I'm
still a
kinda
dream
there
car
with
of
you.
mine.
Doesn't Jake have one of those?
Just
Is
go
that an
buy
EG or
one.
an
They're like,
EF?
you can get one for like $300.
He's got an EK.
Oh, he doesn't.
Yeah,
It's
no, but
late
they're not
90s,
clean
so-
in Minnesota, man.
No.
You got to get one from the south.
And it's got to be white.
Wow,
It's got to be a white one.
my,
Got to be a white
painted.
one.
If you're
just
if you're
rattle
at
can it.
all
That's what
on-
everybody else
So your
does.
$300 car comes out to $3 or $4 by the time you're done.
Yeah, that's true.
Nah.
Right. My second car was a '96 Civic, and I put a B18 in it because that's what Vin Diesel would have done. So, that was a super fun car because you put the B18 in there, and it was pretty sleeper because I left it. I didn't like fuck with the rims and lower it and put spoiler on it or anything like that.
Oh, come on. You didn't
just left
put
it
like
alone.
big vinyl graphics on the outside of it and then a giant spoiler on the front
I had
and
a big-
20s.
I had a
They get
window
pissed off
swing
when
in the
people
back.
look at it?
My VTEC was yeah. No cop can muffler, no nothing like that. It was super just relaxed and chill, but it had a pair of balls under the hood. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I always get a chuckle at these guys that put big ass wings on front wheel drive cars.
Oh, my God.
It's like
Look, yeah,
Hey,
like, if
you-
Koenigsegg doesn't need it, then you don't need it.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Your 110 naturally aspirated horsepower in your shit. I don't know. Your
Pick a car.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
Front-
Cavalier.
front wheel drive.
Cavalier.
Your Cavalier. You do not need downforce in the rear end of your vehicle.
No. It just make you go a
Oh,
little
man,
bit
this is my
slower.
Saturn Ion, man. Saturn Ion, badass, red line. Need my wing.
Yeah, they definitely.
That's just
Well,
like-
of course they do. It's got turbo. Or
That's
supercharger.
That's just like Tony with his neon.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Is it SRT4? I'm gonna vomit.
No. It's an old.
It's like an RT.
It's an old
four
RT.
door.
Hold on, is it a Plymouth or is it a Dodge?
No,
It's a
it
Dodge.
was a
It's a Dodge
Neon.
Neon RT. And back in the day, they were good cars.
They were Dodge's version of the Civic, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it just couldn't hold a candle to a B18.
Yeah.
No.
Unfortunately.
We're gonna have to have a fist fight, Aiden. I'm not gonna abide them being good cars. No.
Well, I mean,
can't do it.
for domestic. Come on.
Maybe
That's a
domestic,
stretch.
but I will tell you this. Now, like the second or third gen Neon, but around that year, like 2002, 2003, around that year, Consumer Reports came out with their top 10 least reliable vehicles, and they were the Dodge Neon, they were the Chrysler PT Cruiser, they were the Chrysler Sebring, they were the NA Mitsubishi Eclipse. Stop me if you're seeing a pattern here. They were the
I don't see a
Honda
pattern
Sonata. They
here.
all
I
had
don't see what you're talking about. Where's the
all had-
Toyotas?
They all had the 2.4 Wolf motor in them.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yeah, all Chryslers. Like
Yeah.
even nowadays, Chrysler doesn't even really make a very good vehicle.
No, which is really unfortunate. But
They don't. The Jeep Compass or whatever the hell, the smaller Jeep, has the same 2.4 that all the new Kias and Hyundais have. Did you know that? They're pimping that thing out to Chrysler now.
yeah, they're doing
Bunch
that
of cheap
2.4
asses.
stuff.
It just
Yep.
comes down to money. It's a lot cheaper to buy it from somebody else than to
It is.
Oh, yeah.
build your own
They've
shit.
been doing the Gema engine for I don't know, a decade now, at least.
I shut this one guy up the other day. He was talking about I'll never buy a Japanese car and blah, 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 one of those assholes. And I was like, oh really? And I was like, you realize that that Nissan bought was it Nissan or Toyota that bought Cummins?
Nissan bought Cummins, I
yeah.
think.
Nissan, they're butt buddies right now. So like the new Titan has the Cummins in it.
Yeah. I was like, you realize Nissan bought Cummins, right? And he's like, no, they didn't. I go, oh, yes, they did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they definitely did.
Well, that's a bunch of bullshit. And blah,
they're,
blah,
like,
blah, blah.
with Renault, so they're French. It's like French and Japanese now. So I don't know. Deal with that. That'll shrink the penis pretty quick.
Oh, yeah.
It's just as going to be a giant conglomeration of cars. That's all going to be one big fucking company anyway. So it doesn't
Well,
really
look
matter.
at Volkswagen. Volkswagen owned like
everything.
Yeah, they owned
Europe?
everything for a while.
Yeah.
Fiat owns a lot, too. Like, there's a lot of the Chryslers and stuff that are using Fiat chassis.
The Fiat 500, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Fiat 500 is a Chrysler product, isn't it? Wasn't it?
No,
Well, yeah, so
Chrysler was...
It's badged as the
Chrysler.
Fiat, but isn't it Chrysler made?
No.
No, it's
No, Fiat.
No.
Fiat made
Yeah,
though,
so
isn't
the
it?
Fiat 500 is straight up Fiat powertrain.
Okay.
It's got this crazy engine in it. It's called the multi-air. Have you guys seen? If you go on YouTube and look up the Fiat multi-air, it's a fantastic piece of engineering, but it's a piece of shit. It breaks down nonstop, but it is so cool. Like I have the same kind of semi-wood for that engine as I have about like the Mazda rotary engine, where it's such a cool engineering feat, but it's such a piece of shit. You know what I mean?
Have you seen like the new, like the way that they're gonna set up? Because there's multiple. There almost every company is going to some sort of turbocharger, and stuff like that. Yeah, and I don't remember what company it was. I don't know if it was Honda or if it was. I don't remember. But they were going to. The exhaust manifold is going to be integrated into the cylinder head.
Oh my God! Really?
Yes.
That's been going on a long time. They've been doing that more and more. Honda hasn't had a legit manifold for a long time on like the R18s. They've been
Really?
without a manifold. It's just a one exhaust port that basically dumps right into the cat.
Yep.
Yeah.
But like the benefits of it though, I was watching a video, like a small documentary about it. They were saying that the cooling system is a lot better, so the engine actually runs. The engine and turbo and stuff run a lot cooler, so the exhaust gases are a lot cooler. And
So I mean, think about how fast the cat lights off now, and how fast turbo spools up. And if they got like a top mount intercooler or something, that thing's gonna boost like right now.
Yeah.
And they got a variable geometric turbo in there, and some of these turbos have little like motors that help them whip up, or they'll build up an air charge with an air pump, and they'll dump that into the turbo to start it spooling up right off idle. It's pretty miraculous what
That's a
they've been
damn
doing.
good idea.
It's a brilliant idea.
Yeah. It seems like there's a lot of companies that are trying to run their powertrain and stuff like that, like kind of mimicking this year's Formula One cars.
I suppose everything that Formula One
That's
comes
how it
out with, it
goes.
just
Yeah,
goes
That's how
down.
it goes, though. You know, everything starts high and trickles down, like you say.
Yeah.
Like the dual clutch trainings. That was just for Ferrari. You know what I mean? But now the EV Fit has one. So it's all trickle down. Actually, the EV Fit, they can run the engine and they can run the power. You know, I'm going to call it the power split device, but the electronic drivetrain. They can run both of these components at the same time in different gear ratios. How's that for a mind fuck?
This shit's getting like super fucking complicated.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're gonna have to have an engineering degree just to be able to figure a lot of this shit out in the next
Joe
20
Slow's
years.
not fixing his shit in his garage anymore.
No. I mean, well,
They,
it's kind of good though.
To an extent.
If you want to even feel worse about it for mechanics, they're making new standards like every year. This is what the car has to be able to monitor. It has to monitor this. Like in '96, for example. Excuse me. In '96, they said we must be able to detect when there's a misfire. Okay, this is old news for everybody, but it uses a crankshaft speed sensor, and if that crankshaft slows down when it knows a combustion event was supposed to have taken place, that's a misfire. That's how the computer does it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But now what they're doing is they're saying, hey, I want to know how was the trim on each combustion event. So in the exhaust, there's the remnants of combustion that are going past the air-fuel ratio sensor, and then there's a dead spot, a negative back pressure pulse, where theoretically the sensor doesn't detect anything. It might even be considered space, okay? And then the next one comes by, and then there's a negative back pressure pulse, and then the next pulse comes by. And the computer is trying to decide, hey, was cylinder number 1 lean on that one event right there? Was cylinder number 3 rich on that one event right there? They're trimming each cylinder's fuel now. That's how micromanaged these things are getting. It's just just a nightmare. It sounds like science fiction, you know what I mean, to me.
Yeah, it's going to be great for fuel efficiency, and I mean, honestly, it's going to be even better for power if you can tweak the fuel trim that much more minutely. It's going to be a hell of a lot better in the long run. But fucking what a nightmare to figure out.
Sure. It's good for performance for sure. Like if you look at the torque versus horsepower graph on like, what the hell, like a Volkswagen CC or something like that, right? Like if you look at the torque flies right up and stays at a flat line like the whole graph. It looks fake, So, I mean, it's good for power. I don't know how good it's going to be for fuel economy. I kind of tend to agree with the people that think the internal combustion engine is sort of nearing what it can do. What we can get out of it is kind of at its end.
I suppose, yeah. If we've been using the same technology essentially for the last, 100-some years?
Yeah.
Whenever the hell they came out with the first one.
About 100 years.
Yeah.
So, like, in like 1895, when the first internal combustion engine happened, maybe it was 18% efficient. Well, right now it's 36%. I mean, we doubled it, but it's nothing to write home about,
Yeah.
They're just not good. I mean, but it's just that gasoline and diesel is so energy dense that we're sort of making up for it. Like we're spraying a garden hose and only 5% of it's getting on the fire, but it's better than a squirt gun and 100% getting on the fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Versus like the EV stuff, that's 99% efficient at delivering power if it's, a permanent magnet rotor Huyven, or it's 97 if it's an induction motor Huyven. So.
Well, you just threw a whole shit ton of knowledge out on everybody. I hope everybody can keep up on that. No, that's fine.
It's too late for this.
If I get out of hand.
So,
what was anyone else's first car? How about that? Let's bring it back down.
Yeah.
I don't want to share.
Oh, yes, you do. I think I remember what it is.
Technically, it was an 89 Grand Prix.
Ooh.
But I drove it like for maybe 2 weeks, and I cracked the block on it, picking up my date for a school dance. Like as I pulled into her dad's driveway, it just shot coolant all over the driveway.
That's a good car.
So I'm gonna say it wasn't the Iron Duke then. It must have been the first gen 3.1 or something like that. Was it a V6?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it shit coolant everywhere.
Poor fucking car. Tyler, what'd you have for your first car? I don't think I know what your first car is.
Yeah, my first car was that Eclipse.
No, it was not. The GSX?
No, the 2000.
Oh, that's right. The one with the
one I turboed.
4G54.
4G64.
64. Excuse me. Yeah.
So it was a GFC, right? It was turbocharged, right?
Well, actually, no. In 2000s, after they went to that weird, like ribbed door.
Like Too Fast, Too Furious body style.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only way I can remember those.
It is. And what?
2000?
What's that?
To me that feels like the newer Eclipse. You know what I'm saying? God, I'm getting old.
Oh, but so yeah, I had one of those, and in high school we had to do these like senior project things in order to graduate. And my senior project was building it and turboing it and stuff like that. So I ended up building it and just putting a stock 14B turbo on it and stuff like that. And it turned out really nice, like with the intercooler that I had on it and the way it was lowered and the wheels. Like it was actually a really bad looking car. It was mean looking. But
that's not the Eclipse I'm thinking of. Yeah, that Eclipse in my head is the newer one for some reason. I think the one that I'm used to working on is the 96 for some reason.
Oh, yeah, there's actually there's actually a newer one than that, which are just
Yeah, I know that one.
yeah, those are just god
That one
awful.
I don't like those ones. Those ones look like a poop to me. They look like the old Tiburons to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
2000.
Yeah, it wasn't the best car, but it was a fun first car after I got done with it. And then I sold it, and Aiden claims that he's seen it around Duluth, and I've kind of been looking for the guy to see if he see how it's going and everything like that, just to see.
You want to buy it back, don't you?
Not really. No.
Do you remember what was it boosted to? Do you remember?
I had it at, I think it was like 10 or 12 pounds.
Okay,
That's a nice
pretty good amount
to boost anyway.
Well, on the 14B, it's a really small turbo, so it's not you're really not. Well, I mean, being a naturally aspirated engine and adding a turbo in there, it's gonna wake it up immensely. But I mean, still 10, 14 pounds on that small of a turbo is it's not really gonna give you like the kick in the pants if, like, say you had like a precision 62 on a car or something like that.
I mean,
it's a small, fast spooling turbo, and
aggressive with stock internals on that thing, though. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, I mean they're I think they were like 10 to 1 or 11 to 1 or something like that. So it's quite high of a compression for
be exploding stuff real fucking quick.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then
What'd you get after that?
after that, I think I had, what was it? I think it was, I had an F-150 for a while. Believe it or not, I drove a truck for a little while.
Which is really weird to hear you
Oh,
say.
would be weird to see a
Yeah,
truck.
but then I moved down to the cities with my brother before he left for the Navy, and I ended up building an 89 MK3 Supra.
Those were the really boxy
cool.
ones, weren't they?
Yeah, and then I ended up unfortunately being an adult and selling it.
Oh, man, but boo.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. I had to make the same decisions over and over again.
Yeah.
Well, you've got a sports what do they call sports SUV right now, don't you, Joe?
Yeah, I called it. It's an S cute V because it's so adorable.
Oh man.
I got a 2006 CRV, man, SE with the heated leather seats. That bad boy that's a panty dropper right there.
My wife had one of those. She had a 2011 CRV.
They don't fucking die.
No. They're great daily cars. You're never gonna fucking break them. You're never gonna look cool driving them, but you're always get to point A to point B.
Oh yeah.
I make sure to crank up my Offspring, and then no one knows what car it's coming from because it can't be that boring ass CRV. So.
God damn.
Mine still has a tape deck in 2006.
Jesus.
Can you believe that? What
Really?
a mistake
Wow,
that was from Honda. They're like, that's like buying Radio Shack stock. Don't you think?
Either
That's fucking strange.
either that, or maybe they were just thinking, fuck it, let's just put this in there. People are gonna fucking change it out anyways.
Well,
So.
we have a bunch of leftover shit.
No,
Let's just get rid of it.
yeah, maybe, but it's got a tape deck and a 6 CD changer, same unit. It's I can't make sense of it. It's like the highest tech at the time and the lowest tech. I don't know.
Well, the CD changer though was pointless tech. Like, okay, so you want to change out one of your 6 CDs. Now you have to pull the car over, hop in the trunk, fucking pop out the big
No, mine's a
clusterfuck.
dash, dude.
Yeah,
Really?
The Subaru, my
Holy
WRX had
Okay.
had a 6-disc right in
The ones I always
that was
saw
a
were in the
2002.
trunk.
Yeah, I've never seen one in the head unit either. I've only seen them in the trunk. Which was
Yeah.
always silly to me. Like,
Yeah.
well, fuck, I'm through these discs. Might as well get out of the car.
The add-on, yeah, like the add-on 6 CD changer in like an '08 Civic Si or whatever. Oh, it was an '08 Accord or something. I put a 6 CD changer in and it was in the trunk. And I was like, dude, that's stupid. Like you're gonna pull over and change your CDs? No, you're not gonna do that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
No,
it just
mine's in the
doesn't seem
dash.
like a
My
good
wife's
idea.
in
No.
the dash too. I don't know.
Especially if you got a bunch of shit in your trunk.
Oh, fucking
if-
good luck. You just leave them there
if
like,
you're-
well, listen to this again.
If you're
Weird
a
how
college
yank
kid
it.
where you pretty much live out of your car, you
Yeah.
have to unpack your house, change out your CDs, pack your house back up, and
God damn.
Especially if you get that bug up your ass and you put like Newfound Glory's entire catalog in there, and you have like six Newfound Glories, and that's all you got, and you're going on a road trip to Chicago, and you can't stop, and the hooker in the trunk won't let you change the CD. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna stop you right there and high five for listening to Newfound Glory.
Dude, Catalyst is my shit. Okay, so
that was a good album.
God damn, we all would have rolled in the same crowd in high school. We really would have.
Oh, absolutely.
Never
Real
really
big-
got to do
real
I
big
gotta
fish.
try and listen to stuff that's I got to listen to the stuff that doesn't have a super crazy amount of cuss words for my kids because they're just fucking kids.
Oh man, I must be parenting wrong.
So,
My kid likes Slipknot and Static X.
I have clean Meteora and clean Hybrid Theory from Linkin Park. I don't know how I got those, the non-explicit ones, but I did somehow. So those two. I got Splinter from Offspring, which miraculously has like 1 or 2 fucks in it, which is weird. Catalyst only has 1 or 2 fucks in it, so that one's in there. And then I can't remember, like Blink-182 or something else.
God, I think I got a CD in my truck right now because I'm also old and I had to burn it, and I'm surprised that the CD player actually plays a burn disc. I feel like such an old schmuck.
It sucks how.
Can I ask you? This is going to be shamefully nerdy, but did anybody else burn the soundtracks for their favorite video games? Like, did you get the boss battle music from Final Fantasy VII and burn it?
Oh fuck!
No,
I burned it. Yeah,
I was too busy trying to fuck chicks.
Well, yeah. See where that ended up. Now you have a child. Joe just got lucky.
Yeah. I found mine though. I told you she goes to bed too early. I can't deal with that. So I found mine. Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
I burned all of the soundtrack for Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and that's a bitchin' CD, dude. I'm not even gonna lie. Like the soundtrack is on point for that.
I don't think I could do 6 hours of 8-bit music.
Oh fuck yeah, man! You are missing out.
No, thank you.
You want some nostalgia? You start listening to some Mega Man 2 on the intro music. Fuck off! That is like prime driving around town music.
So
Nope. No
This
thanks.
was on the PlayStation though, so PlayStation is 32-bit or 64-bit.
32 on the first one, 64-bit on the 64-bit on the first one, I think.
I thought so, yeah, because it was the competition for the N64, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So it's 64-bit music, dog. It's fine.
It's high quality.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
So
It's on par with Final Fantasy VII.
So what else do you got in your fleet, Joe? You got 2 CRVs, don't you?
I have 2 CRVs right now. I used to. Some of the funner cars that I have that I had to get rid of was going to be like the Civic, the B18 and the Civic. That was a lot of fun. I had a WRX that I loved, but I had to get rid of that.
Wait, what year?
I can't remember, to be honest with you. I think it was an 04. 04 is the bug eye one, right?
No. 02 is the bug eye.
02, 03.
02. Then I had an 02.
Woo.
Yeah. I had an 02. I had the shitty little manual boost controller on it that I could boost it up if I wanted to, and the mummy wrap on the headers and just nonsense like this little kind of stupid upgrades, but it was a lot of fun to drive that car. And it was it was like that orange color, you know what I'm talking about? It was kind of rare in that year.
Yeah, it's like a burnt orange.
Yeah, like a burnt orange, and it was such a nice car, man.
Checked out Subarus.
I'm actually trying to get back into Subarus.
I put in like a vented flywheel that was like a half a pound and a pucked clutch. Like I was like, oh man, I'm gonna need something that's got like 1,400 psi, 1,400 horsepower capability, because this is gonna be my new project. And I put this super stiff pressure plate in there, and it just hurt my left leg if I was stuck in traffic, and it just chattered like crazy, and the wife hated it and stuff. So that car was a lot of fun, but I had to get rid of that one once I started making babies.
Oh man, that's so unfortunate.
That's why you own the project and then a daily. You buy something stupid, boring to drive around and putz with.
Yeah, Addison.
Fun car in the garage.
Addison loved the WRX.
Yeah.
Oh, I got into Boost. I was picking her up from Grandma's house, and she was being a little brat, and I got into Boost, and
Man, I miss that sound so much.
Visceral, man.
I turned around and she's just laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody loves that shit. There's something about it when your stomach gets pinned to your spine. That's your body wants. I don't know why it reminds us of being in the womb or something. Maybe I don't know. But
God damn,
yeah, I miss
that
mine.
feeling, man, of just hitting boost and it sucking you right back into the seat. So much fucking fun.
I've only owned 2 boosted cars.
I had one of
I
my
need another turbo project.
Yeah, whether you got a BMW or the VW bus,
The bus would be possible because of the motor that's sitting in the back of it right now.
telling you, do it to the bus.
does it have a Subaru motor in it right now?
No, it's got a 16 valve out of like a late 80s Golf.
Do it to the bus.
Oh, it does. Okay, so yeah, still
You can still boost that.
Do it to the bus.
do it to
Right,
the bus.
Just tell the wife it's
I
for
was
fuel
thinking
economy.
my neighbor's kid has a VW bus, and I keep telling him to put a Subaru drivetrain in it because from what I understand, those swaps are like butter. Like it fits like it wants
The
to.
old Volkswagen motors and the Type 1s and the Type 2s they're just air-cooled Subaru motors. They're pancake motors.
Mm-hmm.
So they fit pretty
exactly.
easily. It's all the plumbing that's a bitch.
I suppose, yeah. Well, I mean, even still, if you can get the main stuff up and then just plumb the rest of it for what is cooling and everything else that's needed and running manifolds and everything around.
Yeah, a little bit. It kind of depends on if it's a bus or a bug. If it's a bug, you typically take out the back seat and you put your radiator there. On the buses, because they have the nice big vents on the side.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, with a 16 valve in the back, because it's made for front wheel drive, it comes off the transmission backwards, and then I can just mount my radiator pretty much in the stock location of a car. So it's about a foot away, just off to the side. It's like you took an engine bay of the Golf and just turned it 90 degrees.
Oh.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean,
This one's got a big old tunnel. It's the climate control, the Ram Air tunnel or whatever.
Okay.
And I was wondering if you can just take, the plenum that normally delivers it to your feet or whatever, and just stick a radiator kind of in that area underneath the car. I wonder if there'd be enough airflow. I doubt it.
Do you know what
That'd
year?
Be a bad idea.
Do you know what year that bus is?
I got no idea. It's on one of my episodes. I whine about doing a starter on it, but I don't know. I can't remember. 70-something, I think.
Okay, so it's probably a bay window. You can actually take those heater channels out because they're fucking pointless, and they actually just take heat off of the exhaust manifold. Is all it is.
It looked pointless to me.
They usually rot out anyways, so you can just take all the shields off
This one's
of
pretty
them and
hot.
disconnect
This one's
it.
pretty rotted. It's got a little valve. It's got a little diverter valve in it that's completely rotted out. It doesn't, do anything anymore.
Yeah, I'd swap that.
I kept
shit.
calling it a van again on the show, and my neighbor got so pissed. He was like, "It's a bus. It's a VW bus." I'm like, "Oh fuck it, who cares? I don't fucking care."
It's got a sliding door. It's a van.
The van again was in the 80s. Anything pre-80 is a bus.
Oh, okay, then it's a VW bus in that case, yeah, because I think it's a 70-something. I don't know.
oh, it's a fucking van again. I'd keep calling
It's
it a
not
van.
a
It's
van
a
again.
van.
It's a bus.
It's same shit. One's
No.
square, the other one's round. It's the same
Completely
fucking
different.
everything. No, same thing.
One of them you listen to Wham in, the other one you get high in.
Good point.
I'm with you. Like when somebody calls my CRV a truck, I don't give a shit. Fuck it. Who cares? I got other things to worry about.
Yeah, but it's a CRV.
When somebody calls my truck a piece of shit, I
They're-
agree.
They're talking the truth.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
just being honest with you.
Nobody talks about my Mazda.
Nobody does talk about the Mazda.
No.
Poor redheaded stepchild MX-3.
Yeah,
Fun fucking cars, though.
yeah. So like on car news and stuff like that. Have you guys seen what Koenigsegg just recently did?
Nope.
No,
Something else
not
fucking
since the
retarded.
101.
Something I can't
No.
afford.
Just recently. So with their Agera RS, they just broke another record
Yeah. Oh,
at 288 miles an hour.
It's just retarded.
That
I
sounds like a
did
good
see- I
time.
did see that. They recorded the first person of him going down the track. Right?
One more time, you kind of broke up there a little bit.
No, I was going to say, I think they had a recording of it where they showed the dash in first person on like a GoPro or something.
Yeah, just wicked.
I saw that. Yeah, that was wild.
That would be fun.
288 miles an hour in a production car.
That'd be so
What
much
the
fun.
fuck?
Well, obviously it's not really like a
I mean, it's not a real car.
it's not
like
a Subaru
unicorn.
production car, but it's a they still make it for people to buy.
Yeah,
So-
if you win the lottery and then own a country and
Yeah.
Where are they being real big fuck asses like Ferrari was? Like, you can buy it, but we're going to hold on to it for you. Here's the keys.
Yeah.
No, I
But
don't
we'll
think
let
you
you
can
know.
you can
I don't-
drive
I
it
don't
at the track.
Yeah. motherfuckers.
They I had watched I watched a documentary just recently on Netflix. I think it was called like Building the Supercar or something.
Oh, that's a good one. I think I watched the same one.
Yeah.
Apparently, I need to sit
So they
inside
talked
more
to all these
often.
little boutiques like Koenigsegg and Pagani and stuff like that. They talked to these guys. You could see kind of behind the scenes how these cars are put together. It's fucking amazing, these things. They're just a brilliant machine.
It's artwork.
It really is.
Yeah.
Oh, it for sure is, for sure. Now, was it Koenigsegg or was it Pagani that got robbed at the Nürburgring because of the noise constraints that just got put on that day? Do you remember?
I think it was Pagani.
Really? There's noise constraints at the Nürburgring?
Yes.
There's other events going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So like Pagani brought their Zonda or something to the Nürburgring, and they were going to turn a lap, and they were going to like demolish the record or something. They were really doing well, and they wanted to do this before they launched the platform because it's obviously good for it's good for business, obviously. But then they flagged them down and they said, "Hey man, like on this straight right here, you guys are way too loud. We have noise restrictions that just happened, by the way, a minute ago." So Koenigsegg lapped from yesterday. They did really, really well, but no noise constraint yesterday. But you guys are fucked for today. So Pagani got like just butt fucked. Like they had something really cool with, I think it was like the Zonda that they were driving, and they couldn't make the lap in time. So they literally were a day late or something.
So what's the reason for the noise restriction?
I mean, just civilization encroaching, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, that's ridiculous. And I mean, I've grown up at like dirt tracks and stuff like that, and we used to go to this. Well, I mean, we still do. We go to this track, Cedar Lake Speedway in New Richmond, Wisconsin, and I've been going there for 20 years, and for like the first, I don't know, I'd say a good 12, 15 years, this track was in the middle of nowhere. Honest to God, the closest place to it was about 2 or 3 miles away, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, you can be as annoyed and fucky as you want to.
Yeah, races could go as long as they want and stuff like that. Well, recently, they built like townhomes across the street from this racetrack.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's the townhome's fault.
Better be
go
low
fuck
fucking
yourself.
rent on the townhome.
Well, and then of course, what happens? Oh, the track's too loud. They run too late. Blah blah blah. Blah. No,
keeping my kids up
no,
on stupid shit.
You knew what you were moving into. You knew what was across the street from you.
That's like moving next to a school and be like, I don't like all the foot traffic in front of my house.
Yeah, exactly. It's
fucking idiots. I don't know.
Yeah, that drives me nuts because you don't buy real estate adjacent to Nürburgring and expect no goddamn supercar noise.
Exactly.
Right.
Actually, to me, that would be a perk to live next to the Nürburgring.
Yeah, that's why you would move next to the fucking Nürburgring so you could drive every day.
Yeah, fall asleep to fucking Koenigsegg's and Zondas doing laps.
Oh yeah,
sounds like a great time.
Let's go to an Avenged Sevenfold concert and complain that we're listening to music.
Yeah.
Well, it's Avenged Sevenfold. I would complain too.
I don't know how much that is, but that doesn't sound like much. So the Nürburgring limit is 95 decibels. And how much that is? I have no idea.
That's not a whole hell of a lot.
Especially
pretty fucking
I don't know.
quiet.
I guess the ZR1 had a problem too. The Corvette got flagged too, I guess.
That's ridiculous.
I'm trying to look and see who it was that got fucked in that.
There must have been some
documentary.
crazy special event going on then.
Yeah, there had to have been
can't see
something.
them. I mean, it's the Nürburgring. I can't see them putting a limitation like that all the time.
Fuck, I would hope not.
Some presidential event.
You want to know? I figured it out. You guys know what it
was,
was, right? It was Honda. Honda greased Nürburgring. Whoever owns it, they greased their palms. Put on this noise limit so that our Civic can be the fastest front-wheel drive car.
Yeah. Damn
So
Honda's coming up with all this
the Type
shit.
R took the fastest front-wheel drive car this year. I did you guys know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I bet it's because it has a muffler. That's the only reason.
Oh, Christ.
Like the whatever the SVT Focus or whatever was too loud. I bet it got flagged.
Oh my god.
That's stupid.
Oh, the Focus RS.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
part of the enjoyment
Yeah,
of driving
the
a car is
RS.
the noise from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I mean, obviously, that's
Yeah.
most of the enjoyment. Like if you're driving a
that's
car
for
that's super
anything.
quiet.
It's the noise you can create.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder how much catalytic converters from CRVs go for these days on the aftermarket. Okay, I bet we could. I bet we could
right
straight pipe that.
Right outside my old shop, there was dudes that would crawl underneath cars and hack them off with sawzalls and just take them in and get them cashed in.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah.
would sell these catalytic converters. They'd come in every day. We would do trucks that have cut exhaust and cut through harnesses and stuff like that. It's just the worst people on the planet doing this, man.
Yeah, and they're only. What are they getting for them now? I mean, now it's probably like $70 for one that's newer and in good condition.
It used to be like $100. It was used to be pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be really
Yeah.
up there depending on what it came out of.
Yeah. Anything? Well,
They are trying to make a synthetic ruby that is going to be replacing the catalyst bed and replacing a lot of the heavy metals in catalytic converters, like the palladium and platinum and what the fuck's the other one in there? I can't remember now. But they're going to replace a lot of the precious metals in the cats with this synthetic ruby honeycomb that is apparently going to make cats really, really cheap if they can make it work and make it clean.
Fuck, that
They're
would
gonna
actually be really
as much
nice.
as a straight pipe is.
Instead of paying like $400 for an aftermarket one, good God, going to the dealer, that would be even more.
Oh,
If I ever own a car and the cat goes out on it, I'm just straight piping. Yeah.
Oh, that's the first thing that I do depending on the car that I get. Fuck the cat.
Yeah, that's
Fuck your
fine for
emission
here, but if you're in
laws.
California, then prepare to bend over because in California you got to put on the big boy emissions.
Well, yeah.
Like the partial zero emission Subarus, the ones that they got 3 cats and 5 sensors.
Oh my
When those
God.
ones go out, you might as well just touch the car. It's
Oh,
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Holy
they-
shit. Well, fuck.
I always tell them if they set a cat code in California, then it means that their car is too old to be in California. It has to come to pasture in Minnesota or something.
Yeah, just sit here and sell it off for $500 or crush it and get 2. Like, you don't have much of a choice.
Yeah. I would buy the shit out of one of those cars and bring it up here and just have the light be on. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, if I can just cut all the cats and get rid of all the emissions like you used to do in the 80s and 90s, like when something went wrong. Fuck it, get rid of all the vacuum lines. We don't need EGR. We don't need eval. We don't need this
I'll
shit.
leave them on. I'll leave them on. Do you guys want to get smart again? You want to hear a little bit about how cats are tested in Subarus these days? They
Oh, I know Tyler does.
They don't. What's that? So
No.
they don't. When Subaru, when the partial zero emission Subarus fail these cats, it's not because the catalytic converters aren't working. It's because the catalytic converter fails an oxygen storage test. You do a closed throttle decel, and it floods the cat with oxygen. And the next time you accelerate, it waits and sees which sensors respond and how fast they respond. It's using this to try and judge how healthy the catalytic converter is. And that's the test that always fails. So diagnostically, for me and for you, we can't tell if the cat is bad. It looks perfectly fine to us, and the emissions are perfectly fine. There's no reason to flag these fucking codes. So it's super, super frustrating. They can go twice as long as they code for.
Yeah.
You know.
They just throw a code on there. Just check it out.
We need $400.
Yeah.
Flag that one.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
not
that
400 and these but $2,000.
I think that about runs this episode's engine straight out of oil. You like that, huh? That sentence, right?
Sure,
Yeah.
man.
Nobody
Can I go home now?
We
Yeah,
stretched
you
the
go.
timing chain in this episode.
There it is. See. I'd like to thank all my guests for being in the studio house room or whatever the fuck it is tonight. Joe, what have you got to plug?
Well, I mean, if you like some more of this hot oxygen storage talk, you can check out my podcast by searching Cartastrophe. That's CARTASTROPHE 365. We're pretty much everywhere.
Yes,
Just
they are.
plug it into the Google and you'll find it. So
Sweet. You can always find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram by searching a topic a month, or just find us the old-fashioned way through AOL Online or a phone book if you like paper. Speaking of paper, you can write to us at a topic a month, P.O. Box. I don't have the money to pay for one, so just email us at gmail.com. We've got bumper stickers large enough to cover the hole that you accidentally put in your spouse's car when you backed up into that fire hydrant, which you can find on our Patreon page by searching a topic a month. All proceeds go to recouping the cost of stickers and or to a charity of your/our choice. And I think that's it for the exit on this episode. We'll see you guys in December. Happy Turkey Day, everyone. Thanks, and have a good night.